Joining us now on the line is Stuart Varney from the Fox Business Network. Stuart, good morning to you. How are you?
Hey, Brian, I'm real well. Thank you very much.
All right, so I want to start out by what happened yesterday. This is a political story. Nancy Pelosi decides that all of a sudden, after much thought and consideration, that indeed she will allow some Democrats to participate in this Benghazi Select Committee investigation. Your thoughts?
That was bigger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, my, we're so gratified to the former speaker that she would allow Democrats to participate in this. I think she was between a rock and a hard place. I think the Benghazi story lives. You can't just walk away from the death of an American ambassador and 3 other Americans. You can't just suppress it. You cannot suppress the point of view that that news was used during the presidential election to confuse the real nature of that happening in Benghazi. You can't suppress this. The public wants to know about it. Fox has been leading the way on this story, and Nancy Pelosi just had to give in. That's it.
But we hear, some people, some of the competitors of Fox News say that, there are no questions left to be answered with Benghazi.
Oh, really? Without getting into the weeds, I suspect that there are a lot of questions still to be answered. Who altered the talking points that were given to Susan Rice? Where did the point of view come from? Where did it originate that it was all the result of a video? I mean, it's a very complicated story, and I think the media, the establishment media, is trying to portray it as so complicated we'll never get to the bottom of it, and besides, it's old. But that's not good enough. This is the death of an American ambassador, and I think that news was perverted during the presidential election to affect the election. That's what I think really happened here, and I, like everybody else, I want to get to the bottom of it.
Our guest is Stuart Varney, host of Varney & Company. I always love talking to you. I feel a little starstruck because I watch Varney & Company every day at 11 at the Fox Business Network when I can, if I'm not taking a nap. And and that's, by the way, that's saying something because I like to nap, Stuart.
I never want to put you to sleep, Larry.
No, I'm not napping because of you. It's the hours. But I like the show so much because you make the free market so sexy, in your own way. I mean, you get so pumped up about profits. You get so pumped up
he's
about
bringing sexy back.
You are for the economy, and I love that. And so I saw this report from Robert Reich, economist, which I think you two probably wouldn't agree on the color of the sky if you had to. You come from things from such a different angle, but he made an interesting point that I want you to respond to. He said 95% of the economic gains that we have seen since the recovery in the stock market and corporate profits have gone to the top 1%, but the median household income in America has fallen. That, he says, gives lie to supply-siders like you that says, listen, as long as we can put money back in the hands of the corporations and the wealthy, it will trickle down to the rest of America. Why is the money that people are making at the higher end of the economic scale not being seen and trickling down to the middle income and lower income?
Well, there's a simple answer to that one. The reason why the stock market has gone up is because the Federal Reserve has been pumping money into the banks, lowering interest rates so that bonds are not attractive and stocks are attractive. Stocks are most widely held amongst the top level of income earners, so they get the gains from the stock market rally. That is factually accurate. Mm-hmm. But the other side of the coin, why is middle America losing ground? I think that's the direct result of President Obama's policies. If you're all government all the time and you want to regulate business and industry to death, and that's exactly what his policy is, you can expect middle America to shrink. It will not create vigorous economic growth. It will not create jobs. That's what we're seeing. That's why the top percentile of income earners, yes, they are doing well because of the Fed. Middle America is doing badly because of Obama.
Great.
That's what's going on.
Well, I want to play this little cut from you. There's a Democratic senator, he's retiring now, Jay Rockefeller of West Virginia, had this to say about why some people oppose Obamacare.
I'll be able to dig up some emails that make part of the Affordable Care Act that doesn't look good, especially from people who've made up their mind that they don't want it to work because they don't like the president. Maybe he's of the wrong color, something of that sort.
So if you oppose Obamacare, apparently it's because you don't like the color of the president's skin. You are therefore a racist if you oppose Obamacare.
That is flat out pathetic. I mean, pathetic is an understatement, quite frankly. It's a disgrace. Obamacare is a mess. It is ruining a large chunk of America's economy and ruining America's healthcare system. To ascribe that, the critics of that, to ascribe that to racists is pure nonsense. And frankly, I think it's desperation. I think Democrats know that they've got an albatross around their neck. This thing is not flying. This thing is going down the tubes. And they're desperate to find some way of passing the buck. And for Senator Rockefeller to do that, I think is a flat-out disgrace.
Stuart, while we've got you, and by the way, thank you for that great. Am I wrong? Does he just not? He extols the virtues of a free market in ways that no other person can.
But I feel it, Larry.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Well,
Look, I'm an immigrant here. I feel freedom. I feel the benefits of vigorous free market capitalism.
I know you do, and because of that, I think that you'll respond to this in a great way. You come from across the sea there, where you have nationalized health care. We see this scandal at the VA, and everyone seems to be talking about the cover up and the hidden records. No one's talking about the elephant in the room, which is this is socialized government health care, and it's horrible, and the vets aren't getting care.
Precisely. Since when did we ever expect government to run healthcare efficiently or fairly? Government doesn't do anything like that very well at all. In fact, it does it badly. And I'm a refugee from that kind of government-organized healthcare. Have you seen how much the National Health Service in Britain actually costs? Have you seen how efficient it is or isn't? I tell you what they've got over there, and which is coming over here. They've got a two-tier system. If you've got money, you buy your way out of the public system. So you've got two tiers, two levels of service and care. The same thing is going to happen here. Two levels of service and care. And that's a terrible thing.
All right.
Great
Stuart
stuff.
Varney, we really appreciate Stuart Varney, host of Varney & Company on the Fox Business Network. You can see him every day at 11 o'clock. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.